Hello, you guys. Miss Steele here. I'm down here at the bottom, and this thing is recording what I'm doing with my hands. So it is Pattern Week, and patterns are one of my favorite of the principles of design. We've been going through the elements of art. They're back here on my chair if you see at the bottom. We've looked at color, shape, line, texture. And now we're going to go through the principles of design, and we're going to start with pattern. So for this project, what you are going to need is your Keith Haring drawing. This is mine, but you have your own. And then I as well gave you guys some pattern examples. Here's a bunch of patterns on the front and on the back. You can recreate these patterns if you want, as in you can copy them onto here, or you can make up your own patterns, but this just shows us a lot of different examples of all different kinds of patterns. And this is our 3-pattern party. So we have our Keith Haring men, our pattern examples. I have a pencil and an eraser, always important tools in art, my crowns, and then I have some markers too, but you guys can just use whatever you want to color with. So I'm going to get this out of the way. And this is kind of like a 3-pattern party, as in we're going to have one pattern inside this guy, one pattern inside this guy, and then one pattern in the background. So we're doing 3 different patterns. So if we look at these pattern examples, I might try to find some inspiration. I really like the polka dot pattern, and a pattern is anything that repeats itself, whether that's colors or lines or shapes or form. We're looking at stuff that repeats to create a pattern. So I think that we're going to do polka dots on this guy. And so what I want to do is pick out what colors I want to do those polka dots in. I think I'm going to do them in blues. I'm going to do him blue, and then I'm going to use warm colors on him. So then I would go through and I would start adding in my pattern, which I decided I wanted to do polka dots. So I'm going to go through and add polka dots all over the place. And whenever I add more than one, that's what makes it a pattern, because it doesn't happen just once. It happens all over. So I'm going to go through and keep adding polka dots, and then I will be back. Okay, so I got him covered in polka dots, and I did that in marker, but you can do it in whatever you have. And then I think I'm going to color in the back part of him, and I'm going to color in his hat too. So we have one pattern down, and then we need a second pattern for him, and a third pattern for our background. So I think that maybe I'm going to color him in this light blue, since we've been using blues. And I'm going to get him all colored in. Now that I have all the dots on him, I'm going to color in the background behind all these dots. And then I'm going to color in his hat, and then I'll be back so we can work on our second Keith Haring. Okay, so we have our first person all colored in and patterned. Now I'm going to start a pattern over here. And a pattern can be repeating colors as well. So it could be a repeating shape or line, or repeating colors. So I think I'm going to use these two, and I'm going to do lines going out from the middle for my next pattern. So I'm going to go red and then green, and red and then green, and follow that pattern. So to start, I'm going to start with a circle in the middle. This might be kind of hard to do, but I'm going to try it out. Because that's kind of what art is. It's trying out stuff. And now around, I'm going to draw around a green circle, and then I'm going to draw around a red circle, and then a green, and then a red to create our pattern. So I'm going to try to get a line all the way around my red. All right. So now we have 2, and now I'm going to come back with red and go around again. And I'm going to keep repeating this until it's completely all the way around. So then I have my next line going all the way around. And now I'm going to go back to green, and I'm going to do green next. taking my time. And now that I have green, you guessed it, I'm gonna go back to red. So here is red. And then this creates its own pattern as I use the red and the green all the way around. So a pattern can be two repeating colors, just like it could be a repeating shape. All right, kindergarten, I'm gonna keep working on him, and then whenever I pop back, he's gonna be finished, and then we're gonna work on our background. All right, so we have one pattern, two pattern. And now what I want to do is I want to add a pattern all throughout the background just to really make it pop. So if I'm looking at my pattern examples, which I don't have to use one of these, I can make up my own. Just like you don't have to do polka dots or stripes, you can do whatever patterns you want. I think I really like this pattern. I think this pattern looks fun. I think I want to do this pattern in my background. So I should do squiggles, circles, and lines. So that's what I'm gonna do. And just like with the colors, I'm gonna think about what colors I want. So maybe orange, and maybe pink would be fun, and maybe this light green. And then I'm going to go through and start adding in the patterned background. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be back. All right, so I went ahead and added in my pattern background. I kind of looked at this pattern like I did earlier, and I was like, I like it. So I kind of recreated it. I did like circles and squiggles and just a bunch of straight lines. But with pattern, if you repeat it again and again and again, it'll look like a pattern. So if I only had like one squiggle on here, that wouldn't make much sense. You gotta have more than one for it to be a pattern. So now my last step is just gonna be coloring in my background. And I think I'm going to color it in using maybe a yellow or a green. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna color this in and then I'll be back and then we'll be finished. It's colored in. All right, so this is it. This is our Keith Haring, which is the guy, the artist, that came up with these kind of like stick figure designs. Our Keith Haring pattern patty. I can't even speak. Our Keith Haring pattern party is complete. I'm excited to see how your guys's come out. Be sure to post a picture of it to the media album in Schoology if that's how you're turning it in. And I will see you guys all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you later.